What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Emphasis on Sports. As usual, I'm your host, Damon Anthony. Right here is where we talk sports and sports only. Like and subscribe if you're new, or you can find us on any of your normal streaming platforms. Just look for Emphasis on Sports. Follow, pay attention. All right, now, what we're doing today, we're almost done wrapping up NFL Week 1. But I want to sit down and go through all the games yesterday. Some big games, exciting games, some duds. For me, I was just happy that football was back. So I cooked a lot of food, watched a lot of football, drank a lot of drink, had a decent night's sleep. Got up this morning, and as I do most football Mondays, I watched highlights. And now getting ready for the game tonight. So let's go through these games from yesterday because there were some doozies. Let's start with the early round games. Bucks at Falcons. That one was a real cool game to watch. I mean, me personally, I wanted to see what the Falcons, what they're going to look like. Understanding that this is just week 1. This is Michael Penix's first start at the start of the season. This is officially his team. Everyone knows it. No one's running from it. Bijan looked really, really good yesterday. Outstanding. Michael Penix looked pretty good. He looked like he's going to be a solid quarterback for the Falcons, but it is only week 1, so we'll have to see what happens the rest of the season for him. Now, on the other side of the field, the Bucks picked up where they left off. To me, their rook, Emeka Egbuka, and I know I'm going to mess that name up a lot, so I'm just going to call you Emeka, bro. Homie is everything that everyone said he was going to be. Walking into the season, I think a lot of people had eyes on him and really high expectations on him this year, and he's looking like that guy. When Chris Godwin comes back, they could have a wide receiver room that's absolutely nuts. Bucky Irvin put one in the end zone yesterday. End of the day, Tampa Bay did what they had to do, come back right there at the end. Rook scored 2 touchdowns. They went ahead and took Falcons down. I think this is going to set up Tampa Bay for a pretty decent year. I think the rest of that division is trash after those 2 teams. Time will tell as the season goes, but yesterday the Bucks went ahead and took care of business. Then we had the Bengals and Browns. Now this one always is a tough matchup for the Bengals to go and play Cleveland in Cleveland. A couple years ago, started the season off at Cleveland and took a L. This one should have been an L. I'm not going to sit here and gush over the Bengals whatsoever because they didn't really look like a good team. The Browns also didn't look like a good team. Browns defense came to play. Myles Garrett did his thing. They got after Burrow. They put a lot of pressure on the Bengals. What we've seen in the couple years past, Burrow still finds a way to put up numbers. That wasn't happening yesterday. Not at all. Browns defense looked really stout, but the Browns offense looked like the Browns. And then, of course, down the stretch of the game, for 17-16, Browns have a chance to kick a field goal and win it. And what do? Boot it because they're the Browns. This is going to be the Browns season. This is going to be how the Browns are for the rest of the season. Oh, a lot of people love to give a lot of love to Kevin Stefanski and call him this fantastic offensive coach. He's all right. He's average at best. Let's just be honest. Starting the season off with Flacco, that's cool. I really think it's time to move on from Flacco and give your young guys some burn. Doesn't matter if it's Gabriel or Sanders. Give them some burn. Get them ready because the season's you're gonna end up 4-13 if the Browns continue to play the way that they're playing. On the other side of the ball, the Bengals, offensively, you got to get it together. Defensively, I'm not going to say it was a great game because you played the Browns. It's not like you were playing the Ravens. You played the Browns. Your defense looked like they were holding up, but the competition wasn't really great. Bengals ended up winning this game 17-16 because of the Browns' failure on special teams. That's how that worked out. Bengals fans, don't get too happy yet. Let's see what happens next week and the week after that. This was a game you should have lost. Then we get to one of the games that, to me, was a shocker. The Colts beat the sleeves off the Dolphins, 33-8, and it honestly wasn't even that close. That 8 came in the final minutes. Devin Achane scoring a touchdown. The Colts look outstanding today compared to the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins, I think a lot of people had some high expectations. Myself, I thought that they may push the Bills a little bit in the AFC East. If this is what they're putting out there, they're not pushing anybody at all. The Colts coming in, Danny Dimes. So, of course, there's questions at quarterback. He's the brand new quarterback there. They look fantastic. They look like they're going to give a lot of people trouble in the AFC South. I mean, the proof was in the pudding there. The Dolphins, they need to retool a lot of things. Tyreek did not seem happy at all early in the game. Week 1, that's not good. Their offense did not look good at all. Tua, mediocre at best. Dolphins, y'all need to do something. Y'all need to fix it. Colts, hey, big shout out. Colts look good. Can't say anything bad about them. They came out and dominated a team that they were better than. That's what you want to see out of your team. Here's to the Colts. Then we had the Raiders go visit the New England Patriots. Snuck by with a win there, 20-13. Still not sure what the Raiders are going to be. Geno looks like a solid quarterback, as he has the last couple of years in Seattle. He really just looks like a guy that's going to get it done and that can play through some adversity, which is kind of the Raider way. Him and Pete Carroll definitely match made in heaven. That's why it remixed the way that it did in Vegas. Now they went into New England. This is Mike Vrabel's first year as a coach. Drake May's second year as a starter. The Patriots didn't look bad. They also just didn't look good. They just looked like a team that's trying to find their footing, and I can understand it. The Raiders, kind of the same thing. They didn't look bad. They didn't look good. They looked kind of two evenly matched teams, and the Raiders just look okay. They look decent. Both of these teams are, I believe, going to be teams to watch throughout the season. The Raiders are going to pull off some games that I don't think people see happening. Think they're going to drop some upsets. They may beat Kansas City once. They may beat some of these other high name, high profile teams here or there. I don't know if it's going to be consistent, but I know they're going to be a good, well coached team with a good defense and a quarterback that just knows how to pull out games. Raiders went into New England, won 20-13. Like I said, it was an average game to watch. It was cool, honestly, just to see Ashton Genty come out, play pretty well. Brock Bowers was doing real well until he got hurt. This is going to be, both of these teams are going to be teams to watch throughout the year. Then we have my nobody cares game of the week. It was the Arizona Cardinals at the New Orleans Saints. I still stand by that. Nobody cared about this game at all. There was nothing that brought anyone to this game. Both of these teams, I think, are going to finish last in their respective divisions. Cardinals did go in there and win 20-13, but it's the Saints. I thought the Saints, honestly, were going to look a little worse in this. They didn't look terrible, but they also weren't playing a really great team. Spencer Rattler looked decent. Kamara continues to be Alvin Kamara. No matter what, he's going to put up numbers. He's going to score touchdowns. That's who he is. On the Arizona side of the ball, they look all right. There is nothing formidable about them. Also, keeping in mind this is week 1 and they're playing the Saints, who just aren't a very good football team. The Cardinals, to me, they didn't show that they're going to make a leap or maybe be number 2 or maybe win the division. They just look like a decent team. You're going to play the Saints. If you actually think that you're a good team, you got to beat them by about 20. You got to do what the Colts did to the Dolphins. But once again, nobody cares. Cardinals Saints. Really, nobody cares. Another real fun game to watch was the Steelers-Jets. This one was real fun to watch. A lot of questions going into this one. How's Rodgers going to fit in with the Steelers? What does Jalen Ramsey bring to the Steelers? We saw both yesterday. On the other side of the ball, with the Jets, I think everybody was wondering, what is Justin Fields going to be with this team? Aaron Glenn, first-time head coach, taking over a team that had lofty expectations a couple years ago that, if we're actually going to be kind of honest, is still built decently. They have a lot of talent on that team. It's not like they're in full-on rebuilding. If Justin Fields could come to play, they can make some noise. And yesterday, Fields came to play. It's not too often in the last 10 years that the Jets are putting up 32 points against a good defense. Steelers coming with a good defense always. That's something that they hang their hat on. great running game, great defense. And that quarterback, if they could find a quarterback that's reliable, they can be a hell of a team. With Rodgers, I think they have that. I don't think anyone's expecting Rodgers to come in there and be that guy that we saw in his prime in Green Bay. He just has to be a guy that can withstand whatever is thrown at him and lead the team down the field at the end of the game for a field goal, maybe a touchdown to win. If he can do that consistently, the Steelers could be a tough team to beat. They went into New York yesterday and won 34-32. Two things that I took from this game. One, the Jets, I think, are going to be better than anyone expected. To put up 32 points against the Steelers, I don't think anyone saw coming. I don't think anyone thought would happen. I don't think anyone thought that Justin Fields was going to have the game that he had. A lot of people thought this is going to be a down year for Breece Hall, for Garrett Wilson, for all of those offensive players, because everyone was expecting Justin Fields to just be a dud. Well, he came out yesterday and said, here's 32. Shut up. Let's rock. If they continue to play like that, they'll have to tighten some things on defense, of course. But if they can play like that, they're going to give the Bills a run. The second thing I took from that game is Steelers offense is going to be just fine. Aaron Rodgers went out there and threw 4 touchdowns. That's not a Steeler thing. That hasn't happened for years. Their offense is going to be fine. Their defense, to me, is questionable because you did give up 32 points. I don't care who the quarterback was on the other side. That quarterback wasn't named Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patty Mahomes, Josh Allen. Those 4 guys, they put up 32 against you. It is what it is. If it ain't them 4, you got to do better. Pittsburgh, your defense usually shows up a lot better than this. I think they'll be fine that as we go. This is week 1, but on the offensive side of the ball, if their output continues to be this, watch out. Definitely watch out. Then we had the Commanders host the New York Football Giants yesterday. That one, the Giants, they're cooked. They're done. Dayball, the interactions with him and neighbors on the sideline. Russell Wilson, he looks a little bit past his prime. Yes, it's only week 1, but if this is what the Giants are going to put out there, I expect to see Jackson Dart probably by week 5 and kind of change everything there. I don't know if Dayball can keep this going if they can't get it together. 21-6, week 1. You got to put at least a touchdown on the board, at the very least. Now, on the Commander side of the ball, Jay Daniels picked up where he left off. We see that Devo is going to be big for them. Devo yesterday was looking like 49ers Devo 3 years ago. That could be trouble for the NFC East. It really could. And then their rookie running back, Bill, which is great. I love it. I guess he was watching Little Bill when he was growing up. So he's also looked good. Looked like a solid stud. The Commanders are who we thought they were. Their defense is pretty good, pretty stout. I don't think that they're better than the Eagles at this moment, but they're a team on the rise. Now everyone knows who they are. Everyone sees them coming, and they're showing up ready to play. Daniels is cold. I think he's going to be in the MVP race. I think he's the 4 quarterbacks that I mentioned just a minute ago. He's right on the edge of making it number 5, making it 5 quarterbacks. Let's just see how his season plays out. But Commanders, impressive win yesterday, 21-6. Then you had Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Carolina Panthers. This one also had a weather delay, so this one was off for a little bit. And usually when that happens, the momentum of the game alters and shifts a little bit. I believe that this happened with this game, kind of like it did with Cowboys and Eagles on opening night. Jaguars, they look good, look like a solid team. The Panthers, we know that they're a team that is building. They're not rebuilding, they're building. They started rebuilding a couple years ago. They're adding pieces. They're slowly but surely trying to work themselves into a solid football team. Jacksonville, where you at? This is your time. This is your time to step up and get it done. No more excuses. Trevor Lawrence has been around long enough. You just went out and got a top flight receiver / DB and Travis Hunter. Now it's time to get this offense actually rolling. They did win yesterday 26-10, but now we have to keep that going. It's week one. Week one. You played against the Panthers. Let's not get too high on ourselves. Just like I said with Arizona, week one, you beat the Saints. Okay. What are we going to do next week and the week after that? Congrats on a week one win, Jags. Let's see what happens next. Then we have the Broncos Titans. This one was a little bit of a surprise to me because I expected the Broncos to go in there and just beat the Titans down. The Broncos won this one 20-12, but this one was a lot closer than I think anyone expected. Cam Ward came out and played really good in his rookie debut for the Tennessee Titans. Can't put any smut on his name at all. Had some drops down the stretch that maybe could have put them in a better situation to possibly tie the game, go on and win it, yada, 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 all of those things. On the other side of the ball, Denver's offense looked average at best. Bo Nix, he didn't necessarily look great. He looked all right. Didn't even have 200 yards passing. Sean Payton, typically his offenses do a lot better. This may just be week one building into it. This may also just be that Tennessee's a pretty good team. Broncos did take this one down 20-12, but this one was a lot closer than I think anyone thought. On to the 49ers. Of course, 49ers going to Seattle, win 17-13. There's a lot to unpack on this game. I'm not going to get into every single thing, but as a 49er fan, and I hope any Niner fans out there understand this, let's not get too happy. This was week one. This was a game that we got lucky and won as a group, as a fan base. Kittle looked dynamic until he got hurt. Kittle may be out for a little bit with a hammy. Christian McCaffrey, he came out, he looked just fine. I was happy to see Robinson Jr. get in there and take some of those carries. But if Shanahan is smart, he plays him a little more 50-50. Let's not get cute. Let's not put everything on CMC. Jennings also goes down. Now it's time for Pearsall to step up. But the big thing I took away from the offense, Purdy didn't necessarily look great. He did all right. He put some good balls out there, but he also put some bad balls out there. That touchdown at the end to Tonjes, that was actually a pick. If it wasn't for the tight end looking like he was playing some DB, we would not have won that game. Got real lucky down the stretch. Bosa put that pressure on. Donald hits his own guy, fumble. Niners are able to seal the victory. But the Niners didn't really look like a great team yesterday. It just didn't. They were also playing against Seattle. Sam Darnold, first start as a Seattle quarterback. They have had a lot of different moving parts leave, show up. I don't really think that they're that great of a team for the 49ers and the faithful to be real happy about. Niners took down the victory yesterday, 17-13, but a lot to build on with that team. A lot to build on. Tell you one team that doesn't have a lot that they need to build on, the Green Bay Packers. They hosted the Lions yesterday, beat them down 27-13. And I don't think the game was really that close. I have some prevailing thoughts about the Lions this year. They're a good team. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be fine. They're going to make the playoffs. But it's always a huge hit when you lose both of your coordinators. And especially when both of your coordinators were as good as they were for the Lions. That offense to me looked like it regressed a little bit. Ben Johnson's not walking through that door. That defense also looked like it regressed a little bit. Meanwhile, the Packers, they look fantastic. What can you say? Offensively, they look really, really solid. Defensively, you kind of see a little bit of the Micah Parsons influence just from the pass rush. We know that you could run the ball at them when it's time to go. The quarterback better be paying attention because Mike is on the way. Packers knocked them off 27-13. This is going to be an interesting series or interesting season for the NFC North. I really want to see how this one rolls out. Then we had the Rams host the Titans. Rams, this was a boring game. Rams won 14-9. The Texans didn't really look that great. They looked fairly average. Meanwhile, so did the Rams. The Rams, I mean, it looked like probably two evenly matched teams playing against each other. But there was no excitement, no flair, no anything for this game. I'm going to put a pin in both of these teams, and let's see how their season unfolds. But the Rams did get their first win of the season, 14-9. On to the night game yesterday was absolutely the game of the day. most exciting game of the day. It'll be the most talked about game of the day. People are going to talk about this game probably for the rest of the year. Buffalo Bills hosting the Baltimore Ravens. First Sunday night NFL season. And it gave every single thing that you could hope, right? Baltimore came out, looked outstanding, looked impressive. Derrick Henry looked like he's in his third year instead of his 100th year. Zay Flowers doing his thing. Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. He's one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen, right? Defense was looking great. But wait, Buffalo does have Josh Allen, and they got a lot of heart. Buffalo overcame a huge deficit in the last couple minutes of the game to win this one, to pull this one out. I want to say it was 15 points to pull this one out. Buffalo, we know they're for real. We know the Ravens are for real. Buffalo wins this game 41-40 on a last-second field goal after having to go pick up a field goal kicker because their kicker got hurt. This is what we expected to see. This is playoff football, week 1. These teams are going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be fighting hard. And if this is what we may see in the AFC Championship, I can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. These teams are going to be fantastic. I don't have a ton of notes on either one because you're playing top-level talent. Yes, both of these teams gave up 40 points. Let you know who they're playing against. This was an outstanding game. Can't wait to see the rest of the season with these two teams. Once again, Bills knock off the Ravens 41-40. On to tonight. Monday Night Football is smacking. Now, one of the things I loved about week 1, there were so many good either storyline games, divisional matchups, fun games to watch. That's always a good, fun time. Tonight, Monday Night Football, they're ending it with another one that's huge. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. In Minnesota, we're going to see J.J. McCarthy. Now he's going to start. Let's see what he brings to the table. Remember, we're talking about one of the top picks in the draft that got hurt before last year. So we don't really know what he does on the NFL side, right? On the other side of the field with the Bears, in Williams entering year number 2. The aforementioned Ben Johnson has taken over that team. He did a lot with Detroit's offense. Can he do the same with Chicago? Can he get Caleb Williams in that good mental headspace to be able to take on the world and show them some things that the Bears haven't seen a quarterback really ever? I don't know exactly how it rolls out, but I know I'm excited to see this game. I know this is going to be one hell of a game. We should see some fireworks offensively. The Bears do have a nice offense surrounding Caleb Williams, and we know what we have in Minnesota. You know you got Jay Jettas over there. You know you got Jordan Addison over there. Now we need to see, is JJ really that good under center? I don't know. We'll see. I'm really looking forward to it. We will talk again later this week. Absolutely have to. We'll break down college football this upcoming week, and we will preview week 2 in the NFL. Until then, y'all, next time I see you, have a good time, have a good life. I will holler.